Shinigami Ryuk. Ryuk is a Shinigami, a god of death from the world of Death Note, who dropped the Death Note book into the human world because he was bored. God, an immortal being living in a realm of rot, where skeletons giggle in the shadows. And he was bored. Ryuk doesn't kill, he doesn't judge, he just watches. Like an addict of reality shows, except his entertainment is the death of hundreds, and the contestant is Light Yagami, a top student with a mind twisted like molten wire. Ryuk is neither good nor evil. He's indifferent. What he loves are apples, not for the taste, but because they're the only thing with flavor in that crumbling world. He laughs when Light kills. He laughs when Light goes insane. He laughs as he writes Light's name in the notebook himself. Ryuk is the embodiment of a death more terrifying than murder. Apathy. No blood, no blades, just a gaze like a black hole, and a smile like a worn crescent moon. Thanatos. Thanatos is the personification of gentle death in Greek mythology, a god who walks like smoke, bringing peaceful endings to tired souls. No thunder, no burning hellfire, just a slender hand reaching from the shadows and saying, "It's time." Thanatos doesn't torture, doesn't threaten, doesn't need to. He touches you, and that's it. And that's why he chills me more than Hades. Because the scariest kind of death doesn't scream, it whispers. Some stories say Thanatos has black wings, like a burned angel. Others say he's the twin of Hypnos, sleep, meaning you'll never know when your dream becomes forever. Thanatos doesn't kill for joy. He doesn't revel in pain, but he never stops. Not ever. King Yama. King Yama, also known as Yamaraja, is the judge of souls in Chinese, Indian, and many other Asian traditions. Don't picture just an old man on a throne. No, he's a soul-crushing engine of divine judgment. With the book of life and death in his hands and 10 levels of hell at his command, King Yama doesn't just represent death, he is justice after death. You think death is the end? No, it's just the first meeting. He'll review every act of your life, from the time you kicked the neighbor's dog to that candy you stole at age 7 and say, Level 7, boiling oil awaits. No lawyers, no appeals, just Yama, who forgets nothing, and a stare that cuts through the cycles of reincarnation. Hel is the goddess who rules Niflheim, the realm of the inglorious dead in Norse mythology. She is not Valhalla's blazing fire, nor the songs of triumphant warriors. No, Hel is ice, silence. She is the nameless corpses drifting to the end of all things. Half of her face is human, hauntingly beautiful. The other half is rotting flesh, exposed cheekbone, and a hollow eye socket like a bottomless pit. To look at her is to look at your own sentence. No one escapes Hel, because not everyone dies gloriously in battle like Thor or Odin wished. We all fall eventually, to sickness, to age, and then Hel reaches out. No screaming, no dragging, just a wave of her hand, and your soul dissolves like cold smoke. She doesn't kill, she waits. And when the time comes, you fall into a place where all memory becomes ash. Hel is grief without a name, the rejection of glory, the kind of death that needs no blood to break you. The endless death in Neil Gaiman's Sandman universe, there's a god of death you'd never guess by appearance. She's a young woman, dressed in black, wearing a silver ankh, the ancient symbol of life. She doesn't scream. She doesn't carry a scythe. She talks. She listens. Then simply walks you out. There's something strange and insane about how Gaiman builds death. She's not terrifying. She's kind. And that is the true nightmare. A death so gentle, so sweet, that you begin to wonder, should I follow her? She doesn't take you. She persuades you. With a smile, with understanding, with eyes that have seen too many broken souls, and still love every shard. Death is not just a concept. She is the final answer, soft as a note falling when the universe ends. One of her lines still sends shivers down my spine. You may be the last person alive, but you won't be alone. Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi, top hat, funeral suit, cigar in mouth, dancing in graveyards, is the voodoo god of death in Haiti, and he laughs loudly when you die. Baron Samedi isn't calm, he's not cold. He's chaos, corruption, a carnival held under the dirt. He might keep you alive just to mess with you. He might summon spirits and make them dance samba under the moon. With golden teeth and a laugh that detonates in your skull, Samedi doesn't play with death. He makes love to it. A god of death who raps, that's him. One who drinks rum and kisses skulls, that too. But don't be fooled. Behind the madness is primal power, the kind that makes other death gods back away. Baron Samedi is fear for those who think death will be solemn. No, darling. There will be music, there will be fire, and then everything will explode like fireworks from underground. Anubis. Anubis, the jackal-headed god of ancient Egypt, guardian of tombs, protector of mummies, and guide of souls through the maze of death. But don't mistake him for a loyal dog. No, he is the silent darkness beneath the shroud, the footsteps behind you that you never hear, the black claw that holds your heart to weigh it against a feather. Heart weighing sounds poetic, right? But it's the divine trial where your soul is stripped bare and truth cannot hide. If your heart is heavy with guilt, Anubis says nothing. He just turns away. And you're thrown to Ammit, the crocodile-headed, lion-bodied, hippo-rumped monster who eats you whole. Anubis is not a killer. He is the gatekeeper. No smile, no tears, no mercy. Left hand holds the scale, right hand holds the blade. Egypt called him the opener of the way. But that way is a maze with no exit where each step is haunted by every wrong you ever did. And the more you remember, the heavier you walk. Anubis, he walks behind. No threats, no stops. He just follows. Forever. The Pale Man, no name, no myth. Just the Pale Man, the most horrifying creature in Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro. And if you've seen him once, he's already followed you home. The Pale Man doesn't speak. He just sits there, bone thin, skin wrinkled like burnt parchment, hands, oh, his hands have eyes. And he eats children. Every part of him is an insult to biology. Empty eye sockets, mouth like a festering wound. And he only wakes when you touch the food on the banquet. A glorious feast. For whom? No one. It's bait. You take a bite. He opens his eyes on his hands. And then he moves like a maggot crawling from an open wound. Not fast, not slow, but always closer. The Pale Man is not called a god of death, but he is death. For the greedy, twisted justice, punishment for the weak-willed. No one knows where he comes from. No one knows if he exists beyond imagination. But if you've ever stolen sweets, broken rules, or thought, what's the worst that could happen? He's watching. From inside your walls. He needs no name, no lines, just silence, long enough for you to forget you're being watched.